it seemed that way. That's actually giving him the benefit of the doubt, right? When someone misbehaves that way or behaves in the way he has. And then it occurred to me over time, the idea of having a mental health issue and being a jerk, those two ideas are not mutually exclusive. The idea that you could have a mental health issue, that you could be a jerk, and that you could maybe just not be very smart. Also, those are not mutually exclusive. It's possible to be any one of those three without the other two, or without one of the other two. But it's also possible to be all three. Mm-hmm. And the more I see Antonio Brown's behavior, the more I wonder if it's just all three. Stephen A.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, to me, if the NFL were not aware of this, that's an indictment against Antonio Brown. And the reason that's an indictment against Antonio Brown is that eventually they would find out. So why would you try to keep it from them? It just provides that much more fodder for you to look at him with a raised eyebrow. You already know that at times it appears like he doesn't have all his faculties in order because of some of the senseless things that he does. We won't even get into the legal situations that he's created for himself. Remember him literally videotaping himself cursing out law enforcement officials in Florida. And doing the things that he's done. We know that he's taped conversations secretly with Coach John Gruden. We know that he's revealed private text messages between him and former teammates. We know that he's called out an owner knowing that you needed that owner to approve you keeping your job. We also know that he could have shut up for 4 days and guaranteed himself $29 million. And he couldn't do that, which definitely lends itself towards you believing he's got a screw loose somewhere. The bottom line is this, though. Some of it is malicious, and it is one thing when you're hurting yourself. It's another thing when you're not hesitant at all to hurt other people. If this is one of those situations where, it was just self-inflicted wounds, that would be one thing. Mm-hmm. But if you're behaving erratically and it's having a detrimental effect on other people, and that was something that you kept from the NFL, knowing that this would ultimately rear its ugly head, I don't know how smart that was. I'm not going to indict him for it because he's in the league. He's back in the league now. We wish him nothing but the best. We hope that he can behave himself, act accordingly, and just be the great football player that he is. I just don't know what to make of it because we don't have all the details. I would tell you that if he's in the news for anything other than his play on the football field, it is almost never a good thing for him.
It just never ends, though, Stephen A. Every time you think, because you hope to see the best in people, right? And we all love a story. I think it's well known at this point, the American culture, we like to build people up. You have an idol, we like to tear them down because, after all, we're all just human, and we like to see them rise up again. And so we keep waiting for Antonio Brown's behavior to suggest in some way that he's getting better, right? That he's getting healthier mentally and emotionally, that he's being less of a jerk, that he's behaving in a way that indicates that he's smartening up. And, always there seems to leak out in the news more stuff that says no, still no. The answer is no.
Yeah, well, the Homeowners Association president said they decided not to press charges against Brown for all this, but still something that the receiver should have told the NFL before his reinstatement. So we'll see what happens if there is, in fact, any disciplinary action. All right, guys, more First Take on the way. We're sticking with the NFL.